Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. It is time to watch some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today's series is going to be between Yuri and StrikeBack. We're on the map Shattered Temple. Our blue Zerg player spawning down here in the 6 o'clock spawn location is going to be StrikeBack. And up over here in the 12 o'clock, we've got Yuri as our red Terran player. This is going to be a Terran versus Zerg, Yuri versus StrikeBack. We got the single game here. I was told it was an epic one, and I've commentated over the past couple of days some pretty amazing matches. So hopefully this one lives up to what we've been seeing recently. And yeah, let's take a look here. Starting things off, we are going to be seeing that SCV here for Yuri. Go for that wall off. Looks like he is already patrolled to go to that next position to build the racks right there next to that supply depot. Taking a look back over here for StrikeBack, would not be all that surprised if we did see him go for 14 and or 15 hatch. He may very well not decide to go pool first, especially if he does not get scouted out. I'm not sure. I don't think that Yuri is going to be moving out with this SCV. So with that being the case, yeah, he's going straight for that racks right now. He will be delaying his scouting quite a bit, so this should give StrikeBack enough breathing room to go hatch first, follow that up immediately with a pool, and then go up from there. And there you have it. Now let's keep an eye over here for Yuri. One big thing we're taking a look at, of course, is going to be that gas. He hasn't gotten anything yet, so right about now would be the time, and there it is. Refinery coming down there at around 13 supply, so it will not be a one racks expand, at least not a no gas one racks expand here from Yuri. And taking a look over here, we can see, yes, StrikeBack has decided to drop that hatchery there, so dropping that at 15 supply, and then moving straight up to that spawning pool. Has also decided to push out there with the drone scout. Moving with the Overlord, he has spotted that Yuri is not in this position, so now he knows where he is. You cannot spawn in that close positional location, so it's impossible for Yuri to be located right here. So this basically informs StrikeBack. All right, now that I know where he is, let me move up and see what I can get done for scouting. Now he's engaging that SCV, and I'm a little perplexed that he did that. I really actually wanted him to go all the way inside. Specifically because I wanted him to check that gas and see what the heck was going on. Now you can see he checked the low ground over here. He was actually looking for a racks. He wanted to see if there's possibly any 2 racks aggression that may be coming out. He's now grabbing that tower, so he's going to be seeing this marine as it makes its way across the map. Yuri, upon scouting the expansion, realizing that there's no hatch down, figures, hey, he's probably not over there, so let me move down over into the 6 o'clock. And there we go, SCV scout. We'll be scouting that out. Back over here, we can see factory coming out for Yuri. He's going to continue. No more marines coming out, but he's got this marine and this one over here. And oh, there's a dead Overlord. StrikeBack going to be losing that. But at the same time, he does have 8 lings coming out, so he should be pushing out with them. And actually, let's see if he can save this here. Really close. All right, so we got 4 lings out already, and they're going to be making their way over here trying to get to those marines. Unfortunately, it looks like the Overlord is dead, but hopefully, for StrikeBack's case, he can take out those marines. Now, 1 marine is heading back home. The 2nd marine staying there to get the Overlord killed. Right now, Yuri realizes, all right, there's probably Zerglings coming to take out my marine, so I got to pull back. This marine probably going to make it back home pretty safely. It's going to be pretty close. Oh, no, gets surrounded there. We'll be trying to micro against the Zerglings. He's going to get 1 kill. Very close, but doesn't end up getting, unfortunately, miss-targeting. And then going for that Zergling at full health rather than the other one. And this marine is dead now, too. So StrikeBack able to do a little bit of damage in return after losing that Overlord. SCV Scout kind of chilling out over here at the moment. Back over here, StrikeBack, we can take a look. He is actually not started researching that metabolic quite yet. He's going to be there very, very close once he gets 100 Vespian. And at the moment, it does appear like he is just droning up. Here come 2 Hellions, though. And the Zerglings will be heading back at the moment. More and more Hellions will be coming out. We've got Tech Lab coming out over here and an expansion. So open up Hellion, moving into expand. Let's see how much damage he's able to do with this. He's going to be trying to get up in the main. No, decide to pull back now. Queen is a huge threat, as he can really not do a lot of damage to it. He did manage to kill off 1 Zergling, but at the moment, that is going to be about all he gets. And that Spine Crawler now just about finished is going to make any of these Hellions pushing in a little bit difficult. He actually lifting off that factory right now, planning to build another racks on this reactor. 2 SCVs coming down. Another one building this racks over here, so we'll be seeing bio heavy here from Yuri. He's got some map control at the moment with these Hellions, and he can probably just camp right outside of StrikeBack's base. And actually take a look at that. StrikeBack uprooting his Spine Crawler, putting in a little bit more of a forward position. Make sure those Hellions don't get too close. Hellions trying to take out the Creep Tumor, very close. But 2 Queens and that Spine rooting forces them back, and that Creep Tumor did manage to get there without actually getting destroyed. Going for some more repair action over here. He wants to keep those Hellions up. and we'll be actually patrolling these guys. So basically at the moment he's containing StrikeBack and preventing him from moving out and getting much of any scouting information. This is going to give Yuri a bunch of breathing room as he works his way up into Starport right now. We'll be dropping his Expo soon. We've got a sacrificial scouting overlord, and he should be able to check everything. We do have 3 Marines in play. They will obviously kill that overlord, but I think that he might make it in to check those production buildings. It's going to be really close actually as the overlord gets dropped, but he scouted that starport, so he knows about the starport right now. He's well aware of the fact that that is coming, so he's probably assuming, well, he's not assuming there's a starport building, so he knows it's you know, he's coming up with that medevac very, very shortly. Once he finishes, you can expect that medevac to be out, and as you can see, we got a reactor down here as well, so we'll be those double medevacs, allowing him to get a bunch of those in play. Wouldn't be too surprised if we saw some drop harass follow up, and you can see here Marine heavy with that stim pack, so drop stim Marines, obviously very effective. And again, Yuri knows that he's managed to contain his opponent's StrikeBack to just these 2 bases. Hasn't worked through these destructible rocks quite yet. Does have level 1 melee upgrades coming out there for his Zerglings. Also working his way up into some layer tech. And you can see over here is they've got a macro hatch. Now, not only is this a macro hatch, this is also going to make it a little more difficult for Hellion run-bys to be quite as effective, as they have to move around this hatchery and funnel their way into there, and that will make StrikeBack dealing with them a bit easier. But we know right now that Yuri isn't planning to do too much damage with these Hellions. These are more for the contain. Trying to spread that creep, not going to be able to get creep tumors any further because these Hellions are just a bit too close, and they will be able to take it out. Eventually, StrikeBack will be looking to push out, and actually it's coming very soon as he's getting 26 Zerglings just about to pop, so he will be able to move out with that once that finishes. Here come the 2 medevacs, so we've got that stim pack research done. Combat shield is coming through. Trying to go for a wall off here with these supply depots, also preparing for another expansion. So here comes the drop right now. First Marines onto the high ground. We got a bunch of Zerglings out. Queens also moving down as well. Infestation pit is coming out, and look at that, Yuri deciding to pull back. He managed to snipe down an overlord, but that was it. We'll be moving on over to try to scout this third. As we can see, there is no third base at the moment, so he's not going to be able to get much there, but the Zerglings are preparing to push out now, forcing those Hellions back. Hellions just would be way too overwhelmed. We'll not be able to take out that many. Yuri now realizes, okay, there's no third base, so he's in a pretty comfortable position in the sense that his opponent, StrikeBack, hasn't been able to get up a third and is still just on 2 bases. But here comes the counterattack. The wall now just finishing, so these Zerglings are going to have a hard time pushing into here. And look at that, forced back right now. We still got these 2 medevacs. He decided to pull back with this. He's just happy with the fact that StrikeBack is still just on 2 bases, and he's preparing to move into his third and actually trying to overwhelm those Hellions, but unable to do so as all 4 are still alive. Marines now dropping onto the high ground. We've got combat shield now finished. And is he coming out with some upgrades? Okay, there we go. Engineering base coming out with the weapons level 1. Hasn't gotten any armor upgrades yet. And also coming out that siege tech. So obviously a marine tank is what we're going to be seeing here from Yuri. Unfortunately, now that he's masked up these Zergling, StrikeBack does have map control. Now let's take a look at what else he's going for. Now we have that infestation pit. We'll be pathogen gland. So at the moment, we'll just be infester Leng. Also coming out with another evolution chamber. We got some burrow research coming on down. I would be pretty intrigued to see if he decides to actually go with some infestor harass. You know, obviously those burrowed infestors, they are able to move underground, and Zergling's moving straight towards those Hellions again. Yuri with a little bit of micro, able to get a couple shots off there, roasting a few Zerglings. And basically what Yuri's doing at this point is he's just trying to work up those tank numbers before he can push out. Now, I'm interested to see the fact that StrikeBack has decided to not, in fact, go for Mutalisk. He will just be going the Infestor route, at least at this point in the game, and we may even be seeing a somewhat fast Hive as a result if he decides to not work with Mutalisk. This provides him with that extra Vespene, even though he's pumping out these Infestors, which obviously cost a lot of Vespene. Foregoing Mutas actually allows you to go up to that Hive tech a little bit sooner, so let's see if he decides to do that. Nice fungal growth there on the Hellions, allowing those Zerglings to take him out. All those Zerglings still need to be careful. There's the full surround, taking out that Hellion. So there you go. Now he's got total map control with all those Hellions on the board. It will not be until Yuri decides to make his big, strong Marine tank push that he'll be able to regain that map control. One problem with not going mutas here is it's going to make it more difficult to harass things like this. So we can see Yuri now moving up into his third base, and really at this point, StrikeBack can't do much against that. We got a Marine scouting these destructible rocks here, so he will see as soon as StrikeBack tries to push towards that. We got a drop over here, able to take out a few Zerglings, as you can see. Ended up losing some Marines as a result, but didn't do much structural damage at all. And no drops here in the main, as we can see. And there it is. There's the hive tech once more. Since he decided to not go with Mutalist, he is able to get that hive a little bit earlier than he may otherwise. We can also see that high yield expansion is nice and saturated now. He's got this base up and running. We'll be saturating that. So it is going to be 4 base Zerg versus a 3 base Terran. And he is actually trying to work down these rocks here with these Zerglings, even with all those Marines. He's just barely out of range here with those 2 Lings. That's pretty hilarious. So these 2 Lings will slowly... Oh, there we go. Just finding the right sweet spot there and able to take out those 2 Zerglings. Just 1 or 2 roaches there. That's all StrikeBack needs to send, although we'll probably see those tanks move over if that happens. No other harass going on from either player. It does not look like. We'll take a look back over here. Yeah, there's nothing much going on. We still have that medevac and probably prepared to do another drop with that. But once more, Yuri is just working up those Marine tank numbers. And is he prepared to push, or is he going to be moving into the high yield? First scanning there. Wants to see if there were any burrow banelings. There were, in fact, some Zerglings burrowed there just for scouting purposes. Going to send a couple Marines to take this high yield. And I think at this point, Yuri will still just try to work up his forces slowly, try to get his macro going, get some upgrades, take this high yield, and then once he's got that huge death ball army capped to 200, we'll probably see him push out. Now, he does have the 1-1 upgrade, should be working his way up to 2-2. We all can also see here Ghost Academy. Zerglings trying to push down, taking huge splash damage from the tank line, though, unable to prevent those Marines from dropping that. Here comes some infestors. They're about to walk into the tank line. They are very close. Some nice fungal growth, though. Managed to do a lot of damage. We got a drop prepared to push over here. Now that hive tech is in play, we're going to be seeing infestors coming out as that. Ultras coming out as that Ultras cavern. It's being built right over in this position. So there you go, going with that fast hive, allowing him to work up into those quick ultras. Also, the adrenal glands will be turning those speedlings into, as I like to call them, the cracklings, just crazy fast, doing so much damage. We also got some continuous upgrades coming out for them. Definitely the armor upgrade is going to be very important, especially as he works his way into the Ultralist tech. Very happy to see some Ultras will be coming into play too in this matchup. That's going to obviously make things quite intriguing. We're going to be seeing a nice tank spread over here and actually seeing a small little force move out for Yuri. He's going to be keeping some tanks in the defensive position, but pushing out with the rest, trying to snipe some expansions here. StrikeBack is trying to move over into this spot, and actually a ton of Marines. If we saw some infestors on the high ground, that could just lay waste to those Marines there. Is he going to move up with that or what? We're going to be seeing, actually, here we go. We're going to be attempting to drop up on the high ground. Nice insight there by StrikeBack as he pushes out just in time. Here come the tanks sieging up, though. Loses only 1 infestor and does a massive amount of damage. And we lost a ton of Speedlings in there as well. But at the same time, he was able to kill off a few Marines. I believe he may have got 1 tank, too. Also pushing out right on over into this position. We got a drop coming on over here, so things are going to start to get hectic very shortly. Nice Speedling surround, taking out both those tanks as he had no other cross siege fire to deal with. And he's going to be moving out with some more and more Zerglings. Now that they're upgraded there with those adrenal glands, are going to be very beefy and very hard to deal with. Big Marine tank push coming on over into this position, though. He needs to be careful. We got a couple Ultras going to be pushing out and trying to break the line. There's actually not a lot over here for Yuri, so this could be really scary. We saw it right now. StrikeBack was forced to cancel that. We'll be moving out with some Ultras. Needs to be careful, though. This Ultra very close to dead. Scan checking the rest of the army there for Yuri. Yuri's getting pushed on right now, though, as Ultras make it right into his natural expansion, lifting up the supply depots, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, but those Ultras are able to just bust through. We've got a Ghost in play to lay some snipes and was able to do a little bit of damage. We still got those 4 Ultras, and they are all but alive. Or I suppose that's the wrong phrasing to use. But anyway, we do have a drop that took place over here. It looks like that did get taken care of before doing much of any damage. Still dealing with the Ultras over here. We got a couple infested Terrans being dropped down, trying to force splash damage against his own units. Able to overwhelm that. Beautiful. Infestors are still alive. Ultras forced back now as dealing with those stimmed Marines proved to be difficult in these close quarters. I'd like to try to see him push up on this position, though, as he could definitely do a lot of damage. And there they go. Ultra's moving on over there. We got another drop moving down here. He's able to do a little bit of economic damage, but not too much. That medevac isn't going to be doing much of anything, and very nice that StrikeBack was able to defend against that aggression, plus the drops that were taking place. Another drop being attempted over here, but that gets taken care of. That medevac's not doing anything. Here come the Ultras, going straight for the X-Spell. StrikeBack is going to be able to drop this, I think. Yes, he does. He takes it out and then turns around to face these stimmed up Marines. Stimming away, they're actually able to do so much damage with some target fire, and look at that. Able to take out one Ultra. Is he going to get any more? It's going to be really close. Takes out two. Does he get the third? Oh, Marines. Oh, man. Man, Marines. That's so crazy. Able to take out all three Ultras with some stim micro, but StrikeBack was able to drop that expansion. He took out that high yield as well. Right now, Yuri is just on one mining base, and StrikeBack is looking to be in a pretty dominant position. Take a look at the income. There it is. Income looking beautiful. We got some infested infestors moving over here. At the same time, just these Marines for harass. Also, that medevac will be lifting up and saving those tanks. We're going to see those infestors move down and continue to expansion harass, dropping some infested Terrans, working through those SCVs. That's too bad. Yuri's going to be taking more losses there. That is really, really rough. And we get some more infested Terrans being dropped down. Is he going to go straight for that command center? I hope so. Target fire that command center. Never mind. He's going for those SCVs first. Now he's target firing down that command center. Trying to do as much damage as possible. He's going to be very close to killing it, but the SCVs come back for a repair. And those infested Terrans being a bit too slow. It's going to allow that command center to push back. Hopefully they go just for those SCV kills then, since they really aren't going to be able to catch up to that at all. Still some very, very nice harass that we're seeing here. And look at these infestors just chilling around, burrowed. Where are those missile turrets? He's got no idea that these infestors are moving on over into this position. And he's going to deal with some more harass. Some infested Terrans doing some damage over here. And I'm not seeing any counter-aggression at all from him. There's no drops or anything going on. He's just too busy dealing with this. Here comes some more infested Terrans going straight again for that command center. And this is looking beautiful right now for StrikeBack. He's in just such a dominant spot. He's got a couple infestors over there, a couple over there as well. And again, there is absolutely no counter-aggression coming out from Yuri. As you can see, no drops or anything coming out for Yuri. And oh man, taking some more damage. Unfortunately, the Marine now able to take out those infested Terrans, but some more infested Terrans gonna drop down. And really, Yuri just can't deal with these infested Terrans. He just doesn't have the cloak detection, isn't dropping the scans. Big problem too is he just doesn't. Oh, he's got plenty of energy. I don't know what he's doing. He should be able to take those out. Here come the Ultras going straight for that planetary, dealing with lots of splash damage. He should be able to splash damage against those SCVs though. A couple snipes coming down, lots of ghosts here for tons of snipes. Here come the Brewlords though, as that transition is in play, but the sniping is going to be a huge problem here for those Brewlords, as those ghosts are so effective at taking them out. Barely saves the planetary and takes out all of the Brewlords. That was an excellent defense there by Yuri, but still, economically, he is behind tremendously as StrikeBack has all these mining bases. Hasn't really dealt with any drops in a while. We will be seeing a drop finally come through here from Yuri. Here comes some more infested Terrans getting dropped down and doing some more harassing of that income. Couple more infestors still burrowed over there. So we've got one drop moving in this position, another drop moving over here. He's going to be able to actually do some damage to this Expo as the bulk of the forces over here. Let's take a look at unit composition. We got a ton of Zerglings, 38 Zerglings in play, lots and lots of Corruptors as well. Still have those infestors just doing so much harass and really proving to be quite frustrating. Needs to be careful though, as there are finally some turrets up in play that's going to put him within range of those tanks if he tries to move too close. Here come those Stim Marines in the main, but a fungal growth plus some Zerglings, able to mop them up pretty quickly, and that pretty much took care of that. This medevac now forced to lift off as he's dealing with some of these Zerglings over here. We've got some more Zerglings moving out across the map. We're going to be seeing more and more Brewlords come out. Again, those ghosts very good at taking them out, so he's got to deal with those ghosts first with Zerglings and or Banelings. Probably obviously dropping some fungal growths as well could certainly help him. Some more infested Terran harass from StrikeBack. Taking out another base of Yuri's. This is going to burn and just blow up in just a moment. Spieling's also moving into this position. They've got a great opportunity to push up here, and there they go now. Spieling's moving over there. We're going to see another drop over here from Yuri. That's going to get taken out now. Another drop also moving over here, but look at these Spielings right up in the natural expansion. Unbelievable. Those infested Terrans over there got taken out. We still have these infestors over here. Spielings trying to do what they can. Stimmed up Marines, forcing them back in the moment. A drop over here manages to take that out. We got any more drops going on for Yuri at the moment? No, it's just this one medevac that's on the offensive. Spieling still alive as they push back into that expo. He's got some mining over here, which is good. This is about to burn. Is he going to drop a mule to save this or what? Certainly hope he does do that. Taking out the supply depot. Looks like he's a little bit distracted, though. This is very close to burning. If he lets that drop, that's actually a big mistake there by Yuri. This drop gets taken care of, so Yuri no longer going to be doing any harass with these drops. There it is, finally dropping down 2 mules. Able to take care of that. Some more infested Terrans. Why can Yuri not deal with these infestors? These have been here for, what, 10 minutes? Drop in the armory. We'll be turning around to take out some units, and he knows that Yuri is suffering economically, and as such, he knows he's got a pretty small army. Let's take a look at the army tab in comparison. StrikeBack 126 armor supplies opposed to the 91. Here come those stimmed up Marines though, plus the snipes there, and Yuri so much damage. Oh my gosh, finally some Speedlings coming down there. Still so many ghosts. They're gonna just keep sniping. They keep sniping these Broodlords. This is ridiculous to watch. Oh my gosh, the Broodlord numbers get lower and lower. We still got some Marines and everything over there. Some nice infested Terrans though, as again, Yuri lacks the cloak detection to deal with this. All of the Broodlords get taken out. Holy heck. That is unreal, but again, we still have those infested Terrans just going to town over here. These Marines and Ghosts. Now, finally though, the Ghosts are all out of energy. We're going to see a transition here from StrikeBack as he's going to be going straight Ultra Zergling now to try to overwhelm the small ground force. Still, right now, Yuri just on that one mining base. He does have a planetary up over here. This is in a very vulnerable position, though, and he is still dealing with these infestors. At this point, I think that the StrikeBack has been here so long, he's been able to just prevent any more turrets from being placed down. Spieling's able to move down and do a bit of damage there. He's going to be taking out the medevac and now moving up with those ultras. He should finally be able to mop up this bio, which is actually really good because he saved this expo. It's got only a little bit of HP left, but he's going to be able to get to mining since that hatch is still up. Still sitting with those infestors over there. Yuri getting some saturation over here as that high yield is almost finished. Just to take a quick look, see if there's any more drops going on. No, nothing else going on for Yuri. That aggression was all that he had. And StrikeBack will be pushing across. Now moving down again with these infestors. And let's see some more infested Terran harass as he also moves up with all of these ultras. And moving up from the backside there are the infested Terrans. And the infestors forcing those Marines all the way back. The ultras are going to continue to chase. Tank gets taken out, all the ghosts get taken out, and this could be it here, as I don't think Yuri has got enough at this point to deal with this. There are just too many ultras, 2 of them chasing down the Marines, and the rest of them will be taking out the expansion and the main, and there's the GG from Yuri. Alright guys, that is it here in this game between Yuri and StrikeBack. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Some nice back and forth between the two. The biggest thing for StrikeBack though is that with those infestors and dropping those infested Terrans, he was just able to keep Yuri's economy terrible. He was able to keep sniping expansions with infested Terrans and taking out SCVs and everything like that. And eventually, even though we saw some pretty effective attacks from Yuri and some decent drops, StrikeBack just had the economy to be able to overcome it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this game. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks again guys. Keep watching and keep owning.